nylon bomber, Terry Bradshaw.
Did you compare him to Kevin White, Alex?
I wouldn't put that label on him because I do think he's better than Kevin. So, I mean, Ohio State receiver, you could essentially end the evaluation and the analysis there because that coaching and what they do with wide receivers at Ohio State is awesome.
I don't give a damn how young he is. We are not leaving out Patrick Mahomes. You're the young goat. The young goat.
What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, guys? What's going on, Alex? How's it
What's
going
going
tonight?
on?
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, what's going on tonight? Anything good?
Also Thursday.
Yeah. And
We finally got some nice weather. I don't know about you
Right.
guys. We've had a ton of rain lately. Kids got
Yeah,
the
we did.
slip and slide out, so they were having a blast today.
Oh, yeah. We've had cold weather here the last probably 5 days. Rain before that. 1 day of sun, but still much spring weather here. And who knows? But J.K. Dobbins signing with the Broncos. What's your thoughts on that?
Just another guy.
No.
Just another guy, huh?
Now, if I needed a rent, if I got an injury and I need to plug somebody in the flex play, I wouldn't be afraid to plug JK if he's getting third down percentage. But far as me going and trying, I got J.K. Dobbins in the 8th round. I don't care. There's too many good running backs out there in this draft, especially rookies, that I'd rather have in stash.
Oh, yeah, but for this season, though, I think he's going to have a fairly good season. Like, he's going to be the lead back on that Broncos, I think.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. They might not want him, or they might not think that in the process, but he's just going to take that over. I think Terry lost connection here because he's kind of zapped out. So just me and you.
Well, so I think that it's a good signing because I think that he's going to fit that system that Sean Payton wants to run. One of the things that he is good at is pass protection, and he's got good hands, so he could be fluid as a pass catcher. I think that that's something that is going to help get him on the field. And what's interesting is they're already talking about him for third downs, but it's also Sean Payton, and he was talking a couple weeks ago about how Audric Estime needed to get more touches because he's electric with the ball in his hands. So again, we're in that season of coach speak where you never know what you're going to get because they'll tell you anything.
Right, right. And finishing off my thought, guys, I'm sorry about that, but guys, sometimes you have to reject some players. You can't everything that happened in the news. You can't say, "Well, I want that player," because you'll water down your lineups. So, like J.K. Dobbins, with all the value on the board, I would rather get like guys like backups like Dylan Sampson, maybe Ja'Cory, the guy from Washington, the rookie. Like I just don't think I'm gonna be able to get to J.K. Dobbins. This is me.
Well, I already got him on some teams, so that's why I'm looking at it.
Right.
Yeah, in those dynasty leagues, I think in redraft, I think he could be a good 0 RB target. Like if you want to go heavy receiver, or you go like tight end or quarterback early, I think that he could be one of those good running backs late to fill in because you know he's going to be on the field.
Right.
When he's healthy, of course, like with any running back, right?
Right.
He's the bionic man now. You can't get him off the field. He's all robot parts. But yeah, we also got Nick Chubb signing with the Texans, another older running back coming back off those knee surgeries. I don't know. But he gets to share the load with Mixon, so I would imagine Mixon's still going to be leaned on heavy, and then you can bring in Nick Chubb for certain down plays. Like that's going to be scary on its own if Nick Chubb's even half a shell of himself.
Yeah, I think that's where it's interesting too. Is he comes in as he could keep Mixon fresh by taking some of that workload, or if they just stick with Mixon like they did last year, where they're giving him 30-some touches a game. Well, if he goes down, now you've got Chubb filling in, and that backfield doesn't necessarily miss a whole lot.
I would say, guys, the same thing about Nick Chubb. I don't care about Nick Chubb. And I know I don't want to be like disingenuous, but I'm like, I can't. Everybody that comes up, if you had a knee injury before and you 30 years old, I'm not drafting you. If you have a breakout season, then I'll let somebody else draft you. But to me, it's too many other good rookie running backs who's going to be competing for spots that you want to have in the third and fourth quadrant. And when I say third and fourth quadrant, that's like week 8 to week 10, and then also like week 12 to week
15,
like 16, 17, depending on when your playoffs start. I'd rather have rookies that's going to evolve into that spot than to try to get Nick Chubb and expect him to be a top 24 running back.
Oh, I don't think that. Like, I was just talking football wise, not necessarily fantasy there. Like,
okay,
you know, like I wouldn't go after either one of those guys as a target, but they're already on teams, right? So if you already have them, it's not like they're not going into bad situations.
Right.
They're both run heavy teams where they're going to run the ball a lot. Like Sean Payton will get the best out of Dobbins while he's there. Like you're going to be able to start him the weeks on those flex that he's there and healthy. So fantasy wise, he's an okay play. But Chubb, I don't know. I'd be a little weary on Chubb big time. But if you have him, if you can get anything for him, I would trade him and get it because he's not the main guy anymore either.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if RJ Harvey take over week 6 or 7 and we don't ever see J.K. Dobbins for the rest of the year.
So hold on one second with that one, because one thing you did mention is that the age on these running backs. I think it's worth mentioning with Dobbins, though he has had the Achilles and some knees, he is only 26 years old. So he is on the younger side where his body's going to recover differently than Nick Chubb, who's coming in. I think he's going to be 31 this year.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
worth
Nick
mentioning
Chubb
at least.
on his last legs of his career,
right?
You know, trying to get out.
Literally on his last leg.
Yeah, maybe if Mixon goes down, you might be able to put him in the lineup, but otherwise, I don't see it being able to put Nick Chubb in a lineup unless Mixon's out. And
no,
then
you can get maybe
they've
2
got
to
Woody
4
Marks
games
there. They've still got Damian Pierce there. Like they've got a stacked running back room in Houston.
Right.
That they do.
Yeah, and then what else we got? And did you see Myles Garrett's comment about when he was asked about Aaron Rodgers joining the black and blue division?
What did he say?
It says it's a good chance for him to put him in the graveyard.
Right.
End his
Gotta
career.
make that old joke too.
Yeah, like I don't know what he's thinking. Like that's probably the only job that was offered to him. But at the same time, it's like, man, you're 41. You're going into a division where they just beat each other up, and it doesn't matter if you're the quarterback. You're still going to get some of that. Like they still know how to punish the quarterback in that division.
Right.
Did you guys see the contract too?
It's like 10 million.
Yeah, so it's 1 year, 10 million guaranteed, 13 million in base incentives, up to 19 million. I assume that's if they win the Super Bowl. So still quite affordable as far as a contract goes with the Steelers too. So if you're gonna get Aaron Rodgers, I'd much rather pay him that than what the Jets were paying, which was what, 20, 30 million a year, something crazy.
Right. I'm okay with Aaron Rodgers being there with the Steelers. Real football, I think is a great move if that's what your plan is. So to me, it sounds like it's a plan. Like, okay, we'd rather have Aaron Rodgers. We don't want to get Shadir. We'd rather come in with a guy like Aaron Rodgers and bridge it, and then maybe take a shot at Arch Manning if that happens. But we don't want to build around Shadir or move up to try to get Cam Ward. We don't even. Well, it was going to probably be impossible to move to get Cam Ward, but they didn't want a young quarterback, and I'm okay with that. The Steelers are in win now mode. Their defensive players and their stars are older. They only got like a 1 year window. So go ahead and keep a quarterback that's ready to win too. That way nobody has to wait on nobody grooming or anything. So I thought it was a good move.
So here's the scenario then. Think of that, right? Let's say the Steelers start out 1-5. Right around the corners that trade deadline. What are you doing then? Are you trading TJ Watt? Are you trading all these older guys?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. So it depends how they start out too. What's going to happen with that team?
Right. And Aaron Rodgers might retire in the middle of the season because he can't take getting benched.
Yeah, could be, or fake an injury and just be
right,
like, I'm done, like have a good game and then go out on that game like that weekend and hurt your back or through training camp or practice. No, I can't go again for the rest of the season. Put out Mason Rudolph, see what he could do with this mess of a team that you've traded away. But yeah, if they start out bad, man, I can definitely see them trading TJ Watt and a couple of those other stars.
Right.
Yep.
And then
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what Tomlin can do with the old man. We also got Aaron Glenn said to Breece Hall this week too, because they've started their training camp, that he wants him there and in the building and has a plan for him. So that's
of course,
great.
He's come from Detroit. He wants 2 running backs.
Yep.
Oh God, yeah, I know that, and that's why I said Braylon Allen in the running back episode. He's one of my sneaky guys that I think might be able to sneak into that top 10. if it's like a 50-50 split with Hall, I think that would be perfect for the two of them because they're complete opposite type of style of backs. So it's just going to be different on the defense. A lot of stress.
Yep.
So I like that.
It's just like fantasy. You want as many as running backs that you can plug and play because you never know about injuries. And that's how they look at it too. And that's how I am. I don't need the home run best running back in the league. I'd rather have 3 or 4 good solid guys that I can play at any time. So yeah, of course he want to commit it. He don't want to just give it to Braylon Allen and Trey Breach and then don't have Abanda Candace to back up. Right.
Right.
Well, they also have that Isaiah Davis they like that they said they wanted to get more use.
Yeah, that's right. Right.
And then
they also drafted Donovan Edwards. Yes, the running back from Michigan.
So they've got a crowded backfield too.
Right.
You need that in this league. So I still expect it just to be Hall and Allen though, for the most part.
Yeah,
and
I
then
agree.
Jared Verse and Aaron Donald had a workout together. I forget exactly how that ended up. One of them said something and the other challenged them to a workout. I think Aaron Donald said, "Well, come work out with me." Because I think, that's what it was. Verse said, if you miss it, come work out here, like showing the Rams training camp. And then he got invited to Aaron Donald's house to work out, and Aaron Donald ran him through one of his retired workout things. At the end, Verse is sitting there. This is your workout? You retired, bro. You want to be AD? You got to work out like AD.
Yep. That's nuts.
Just some craziness. Anything else more you guys want to talk about that might have happened in the football world before we get into it?
No, I'm fine. I think we got our guest star down here at the bottom ready to come up.
I don't know if she's ready yet. I'm still waiting for a message.
Okay.
So that's why I asked the question.
Okay.
She just got a call while she hopped down there, so she doesn't give me a sec.
Okay.
All right. So Terry, I'm going to put you on the spot. Then we just talked about We just talked about 2 veteran running backs with J.K. Dobbins and Nick Chubb. You have to pick one, and you have to put them in your lineup and leave them there for the whole season. Who you taking?
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, that's probably too easy, huh?
Yeah. But I don't want to draft either one of them. I just think it's too many running backs to have. And a lot of times, man, I fade guys just off of. I'm not gonna be able to get to you this year. Sometimes it's not that you're a bad player. Sometimes you have to fade a guy. And guess what? I faded CMC because I thought he was just one-on-one. It was just too much for my team. I wasn't that smart. I didn't know he was gonna get hurt. But I just I'm fading him. So sometimes you just gotta fade a guy for whatever reason. It could be because of the age, it could be the value, whatever. Sometimes you just can't. I don't want to draft everybody that's trending.
Exactly.
Right,
sometimes
guys.
you gotta trust your gut.
Yeah, you go.
All right, guys. Well, it's with great pleasure that we get to have this individual on the show. She's the person who is directly responsible for us all getting together and connecting on the good hour. We all met on Clubhouse during COVID, where we'd get together in her rooms, gather and talk football. She's one of the ultimate Ravens fans who lives and dies by purple and gold and lives by once a Raven, always a Ravens. And she knows the players as they become like her family once they're drafted to her team or signed. The CEO and founder of She Talks Football, Miss Gina.
Hey, y'all. What's up?
What's going on?
What's up, my people? Have not seen y'all faces in so long.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
I finally got you over here, superstar.
Yeah, man. Yeah, all those good Clubhouse days. We used to have a good time. We really did have a good time. Over there talking football. Like, I'm just so glad, even though I'm not over there anymore. Like you said, I wouldn't have met you all if we hadn't all been on Clubhouse together. So,
right.
Yeah, y'all my peoples. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, we're glad to have you on. Like, those Clubhouse days or some of those moments are just going to live in my head forever. Like, I couldn't tell you her name, but the lady who would always curse and scream. Remember her? She just constantly swearing.
Yeah.
There's some
Nora, maybe.
That's it. Yeah, Nora. She was just crazy. So, you still doing fantasy football?
Of course, yes. I'm still doing fantasy. I'm in Scott Fish Bowl again. I think this is year number 4 for me. I think this is year number 4.
Oh yeah,
so,
how you doing?
Yeah, it's always I'm sorry. Okay, this is year number 5 because I've done 4 previously. I've been in the playoffs in 2, and the other 2 I did not make the playoffs. One particularly injuries. I remember one year injuries and all of those late buys. I had a bunch of players that had late buys, and then I had a number of players that were injured. So yeah, I got screwed. 2 years I went to the playoffs. The 1 year I made it to the second round, and I think the other year I made it to the third round, and then I got eliminated. So I mean, when you're talking about 5,000 for 3,000 to 5,000 people, like that's amazing. So yeah, it's always a blessing to be a part, of Scott Fishbowl and what they represent. Obviously one of the big things that I love about it is the charity aspect of it. And so I just really love that. And to compete, obviously, the leagues are always tough. So yeah, so I'm averaging about 5 to 6 leagues. Y'all, about 2 years ago, I did 8 leagues. Never again.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about 8 leagues that I had to set the roster for. Now, best balls are great, right? You can do 50,000 best balls because you just draft and forget it. But these were 8 leagues that I had to set the roster for. I was like, why did I do this? Did I do this to myself? So, yeah, I went back to my original limit, which was 6, right? Which is still a lot to me, but it's like I've already gotten involved in a number of these leagues, and like I don't want to give them up. So, yeah, I'm still hanging in there.
That's how you get to be an addict. I was up to 78 leagues at one time.
Woo!
It's just insane.
How is that even possible?
Don't judge Sean. You can't. He's an outlier. You can't judge that.
First, I was a prison guard, so I could be on my phone all day and just, manage my rosters while I work.
Manage both rosters.
So I'm getting paid to do fantasy by my work, but whatever. So we're having a Ravens night,
though, Sean. We can't judge you off this.
What's that?
Sean is different. Sean is definitely different. He's in the league.
Different. You're a degenerate.
Hey, I always used to get in trouble because they would always wonder, and quote, "Why do the brothers like you so much?" And I'd always say, "Oh, it's this amazing secret I got." They're like, "What's that?" I go, "I treat them like everybody else," and they never knew what to say because it was always management asking me. But whatever.
Right.
Anyways, we're having a Ravens night because Regina's a Ravens fan. So why don't you tell us what made you a Ravens fan?
We got a team in Baltimore, bruh. Simple as that. Everybody knows, that we lost that other team. They went to, Indianapolis, in the middle of the night. And so we were without a team, maybe 8-10 years, maybe 13 years or something like that. And then Art Modell, may he rest in peace, brought that previous team that was known as that color, which I don't really speak of, to Baltimore, and football was back in 1996. So yeah, I'm a person that typically roots for my home team. So, I was glad to have a team back. I didn't really follow the Colts like that anyway. Wasn't really a fan of the Colts, but I was like a kid, you know what I'm saying? Or younger. But it's like by the time the Ravens got here, in 96, I was grown. So yeah, so I was definitely happy to have a football team back with that all powerful purple and black. Can't do anything with it. And they managed to turn things around. I will say, and I have to say as a sidebar, I am always disgusted every year at the snub that he hasn't, may he rest in peace, he has not been put in the Hall of Fame yet. I think it's an absolute snub, and they need to right that ship. Not putting Art Modell in there is terrible to me. So hopefully that ship is made right sometime soon. But anyway, yeah, so that's how I became a Ravens fan. We got a team again, and we have football, back. And I didn't when we lost the team, I didn't root for another team or anything like that. A lot of hardcore football fans went to other teams like the Steelers and, the Eagles and, Dallas and, all that kind of stuff. But I didn't root for anybody in particular.
You loyal.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, yeah. So it's the Ravens and nobody else for me.
Right. Ladies are way more loyal to their team than guys are. Like, if you a fan, they're gonna be a fan to the day that team goes off the grid. Like I know you use a big time Ravens fan. I know Maximus is a San Francisco fan, but I would say that you're a bigger Ravens fan than he is San Francisco fan.
Yeah, it really is a big thing for me. Like, I remember, y'all, in years past, I literally had almost nothing in my closet but Ravens clothes. Like, this is really not an exaggeration. Like, it was like 80% Ravens gear, and that is what I wore, not just during football season. I mean, all year long. I had summer Ravens clothes, I had winter Ravens clothes. It literally took me a couple of years of, you know what? Maybe you should get some regular clothes, sis. Sometimes you need to go someplace else. Maybe you can't wear it. Like, it literally, I had to make myself go buy regular clothes. So, yeah, it's been pretty bad. It's been pretty bad at times. It really is. But, yeah. They're always going to be here. Always going to be there.
Yeah, I've been there with the clothes, looking at the closet, like, when did I become this guy?
only red and gold. All you saw was red and gold.
Yeah, red and gold. Like, I'm just like, I need to buy some normal clothes. So, like, no more sports stuff, people. Don't buy me. I know, like, I like my Niners and stuff, but I need to turn it back here a little bit. That's why I wore my Tim Tebow jersey tonight. Gotta support the man. I love my Tebow. Brought the Gators championship. So
yes, Tim Tebow, my favorite college football player of all time.
Oh yeah, mine
really?
too.
Yes,
yeah.
I think he's better than Cam Newton. I know that's crazy. I know I've been judged on it before. I know Cam Newton's one of the most athletic, talented quarterbacks we ever saw in the NFL. He might not be a Hall of Famer. He's very talented, but the way Tebow, the stuff that he did once he got to the pros, that stuff is like. It's emotional attachment. He don't complete a pass the whole game into the fourth quarter, and then he's perfect in the fourth quarter and win the game. So that type of stuff, man, just makes you fall in love with a guy like Tim Tebow. But I just want to go off.
Yeah, we'll go down a rabbit hole in this Ravens tonight. I mean, I wouldn't mind that conversation, but we're talking about Ravens tonight, so we won't lose it.
Right.
Yeah.
You brought up Cam Newton. We didn't bring him up. You brought up Cam Newton.
Right.
Yeah, we can come back around to that one.
Yeah, speaking of which, I thought we could debate greatest all-time Ravens team. I put a couple on here already. Let me see what you guys think, because I didn't think they'd be.
Yeah, we can't debate those guys.
Yeah, like Ed Reed at safety position, Ray Lewis middle linebacker, Haley Nagata defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Jonathan Ogden left tackle and right guard Yonda. Like I think those are pretty.
There are people that's on my list. I got some people we can fill in.
Okay. I would say the D tackle though. Maybe it might be a debate at the D tackle though, because I know that them Super Bowl teams had some really good D tackles. Maybe they wasn't as talented as not. But
there's
Sam
two
Adams
spots.
and Siragusa?
There's two spots for defensive tackle.
Okay.
So Nagata is obviously one of them. That's how I look at it. Like obviously he's going to be one of your top two. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, Nada was on there.
Yep.
So
I would agree. Those ones were ones that were basic locks where I think we all would have had them.
Over Siragusa?
No. We still got another spot.
Okay.
That's what we're saying. So there's still like room for one more guy, but obviously Nagata is one of the top two.
Right. So where do you guys want to start? You want to start on the D line since we're talking about it?
I'm cool with that.
All right. I got to go back and forth between stuff here. So
because on that note, Terry, I do agree with you. Tony Siragusa would be my other nomination.
I also like Adams.
I'm cool with Goose. Because we had, like you said, we have so many.
Right.
But I'm definitely cool. I'm definitely cool with Goose.
Yeah, he would have been my guy too. Like, I just didn't want to assume both people for that. That's all.
Right.
So
what about Adams? Y'all don't think Adams didn't have a better run than Haloti Ngata? Because Haloti Ngata got one ring, but I think Adams only got one ring too. But Adams was a beast. Adams was like 340 pounds, and you couldn't run up the middle.
Sam Adams would for sure be your other consideration, for sure.
Yeah.
But would you have him over Nagata?
Haloti Ngata was drafted early and had a lot of talent. He could move as a big guy, so I won't say he was like he definitely more talented. But I feel like Adams as a run stopper was better than Haloti Ngata. That's just my opinion.
I don't know. I remember Nagata was a huge guy, man, that could bounce all around in that middle, and he was athletic, and he had like this undeceivable speed to him.
He did. He did. I can't debate that.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong with either. I'm gonna lean Goose, but you could put in Sam Adams or Goose. I'm actually good with either, to be honest.
All right. Well, let's just stick with who you got then, Alex.
What's that?
Nagata or Sam Adams?
Oh, I had Nada. I didn't get to see Sam Adams, so for me it was. I remember Nada wrecking games.
All right, so we'll go Nagata and Siragusa.
Yeah, Nada. He's pronounced Nada.
Yeah,
Nada.
Let it go, Gina. Let it go.
You can't correct him on names. He still can't do it.
I do it for everything and everybody, so it's not like on purpose.
Okay, is that how it works? Okay.
Say Ashton Genty, Maximus. Say Ashton Genty.
Ashton Genty?
Okay, he said Genty that time. He usually say Jonty. He calls him Jonty.
Yeah, Gianti.
Yeah, Gianti.
Ashton Gianti. Yeah.
Giante. Oh, wow.
You know what, Regina? My home league for my fantasy football league, if we'd be at work and because everybody, like, we'd get together and everybody work together, it was like really like crossing each other. I'd be like, hey man, I want that player on your team. And they'd be like, who? And I'd be starting to tell them. And he'd be like, it got to a point where they'd be like, hold on. And anybody else that was on shift, they'd call them all down to where we were. And it'd be like a guessing game. Whoever got it, they'd all put $5 down. And whoever got the player I was talking about would get the money. Like, that's how bad I am.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Gina, we do 2 shows a week, and I'm correcting on names every show, and it still takes months, if ever, to change
Embrace it, Alex. Embrace it.
Oh, I do. The San Antonio Brahmas were the Brahas forever in the UFL.
Yeah. Oh well. I know I'm bad at it. It's all right. So defensive end, who are we thinking here? I like Elvis Drummondville.
Yeah, Doomerville was one I was thinking.
That's kind of tricky.
Is it 2? Well, you got 2, right?
2, yep.
Okay, so
who you got,
I got
Regina?
Terrell Suggs and Peter Boulware.
That's what I was about to say. Those are I don't know if you mean DNs or outside linebackers because the way they played 3-4 their whole career, kind of.
All right, so
I mean we've kind of gone back and forth, but we can. I mean we do a little. We've done a little bit of both. We've done 3-4. We've done 4-3. So
right.
I'm okay with, but Terrell Suggs has to be on there. And I hear you, Elvis Duberville, but
do we want to do it 3-4?
Peter in there.
Do we want to do a 3-4 or 4-3, Regina? Doesn't matter to me.
So we're going to have our 2 defensive ends and our tackle.
Terrell Suggs is a DN.
If we do that, we only going to do 1 DT then, right?
Yep. So we'd have to get rid of Nagata or Tony.
We'll keep Nagata.
Yeah, I'm okay. You can keep Nada.
Yeah.
All right.
So then we'll be a 4-3.
No, we're
taking out Tony.
Oh, you're kicking out Tony, you mean?
Yeah, I think that's what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because y'all said because I don't. I would love to keep both of the outside defensive end / outside linebackers.
I get that.
And maybe we can do the 2 middle linebackers to keep, because there's good linebackers there.
So then Suggs is a defensive end then in this?
Yes.
I'm okay with that if y'all want to do that.
All right. And then
Peter Boulware. So Suggs and Dumerville were a thing for sure, and the both of them played together. Mm-hmm. Peter Boulware was on the earlier teams, but Peter Boulware was absolutely a beast.
Right.
So Boulware, if we're doing it this way, I would go Peter Boulware too.
Yep.
And then, so we're going 2 outside linebackers and a middle linebacker besides Ray Lewis, because Ray's already on the team.
Might have to go Roquan.
Yeah, I would go Roquan.
Can we just?
Could you imagine those 2 on the field together?
So, what's crazy is I agree with this, and could we just appreciate like how good Roquan Smith is that he's in this conversation already?
Come on now, preach.
I still can't believe the Bears gave him up for a 2nd-round pick.
It blows my mind.
The second and the fifth. It was the second and the fifth.
Still what about
that actually is high draft capital. The NFL ain't giving up no first.
And we paid him $20 million. So
you're right.
And he's worth every penny.
Right. It made Lamar Jackson have to fight for his contract, but Roquan didn't have to fight for nothing.
Nope.
Oh, he's the best linebacker I've seen since Ray Lewis.
Yeah, man, he's 240 pounds and runs like he's 210.
Gina, I think
the Bears have been doing nothing but searching for a linebacker since.
Right. They thought it was going to be Jack Sanborn.
Gina, I think that trade actually went down on the clubhouse days.
No,
because
I don't think so.
No, it was a little later.
I wasn't over there. I was definitely on Twitter when that happened.
Okay. See,
y'all might have still been over there, but I was definitely on Twitter then.
I was just, for some reason, thinking we had a conversation about it because I remember getting the notification and my heart just sinking, going, really? The Ravens just keep getting more.
Oh, no, that was only 2 years ago.
He's just going into his 4th year.
Was it 2 years?
Yeah, we were doing our podcast, Alex.
Okay. Well, you and I were talking about it. I know you and I talked about it a lot.
All right, so we got 2 outside linebackers to do. Does Elvis Dumerville fit into that or no? Or am I lost?
I
thought we covered that. Yeah, because we decided to go with we got Terrell and
Matthew
Peter.
Judon.
Nah,
I like Judon, but not against Terrell and Peter Bower.
Right. I think so. What you saying, Regina? Peter and Terrell Suggs are the outside linebackers, correct?
Right. Defensive ends. They're on. Yeah.
Okay, so those are the linebackers.
Yeah. So we can actually do Goose and Sam Adams from the DN because that's how the 3-4 is set up.
Yeah, that's true. You could do that.
All right, I'm just getting the lineup right here.
Actually, that's what they would do if all these guys played together. They'd have 3 monsters, 340-pound monsters up front.
So who do we got at defensive end?
What'd you say, Sean?
Who are our 2 defensive ends?
We got to redo. We got to do one. We haven't did them yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I thought you said we were going to put Tony down there as one, right?
Well, we can. We can do Tony or whoever. We can put like D tackles at the DN position because it's a 3-4.
All right. So let's put Tony back in then.
Okay.
And then we need one more defensive end.
I would say Adams.
Yeah. I mean, that works.
Yeah.
You like Adams, Regina?
That's fine.
All
so
right.
Does that mean
that works?
We've got 2 cornerbacks and a free safety.
Well, I think
the cornerbacks is easy. Chris McAllister is the one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, I got Chris McAllister.
And who would you go with?
I'm
for me,
up between. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Who you said?
For me, I was just gonna say my other one was Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah.
Over Jimmy Smith.
Okay. Jimmy was really, really good.
We got hurt.
He just couldn't stay on the field. It's unfortunate that his body failed him. If his body did not fail him, we would still be talking about Jimmy Smith because he could burn. It's just that my man would go in, play really good, get hurt, miss several games, rinse and repeat. It was absolutely terrible that his body kept failing him. So I was between Marlon Humphrey and Ron Woodson. Those are the 2 I was between.
See, I had Woodson as my safety.
Yeah, Woodson is the safety for Ed Reed.
So we can put Humphreys here as a cornerback and then put Rod Woodson as the final piece for this defense.
Yeah, and that's
if we go to nickel, we can put Marlon Humphrey in at the nickel package. Marlon's a great player, man. I mean, I ain't gonna say great, but he's a really good player.
Mm-hmm.
No, he is. He's really good, and he was back last year. He was healthy, so he was back. He wasn't healthy for a couple of years.
All right, let's see here. Get the defense up here.
We may be disrespecting Kyle Hamilton. Maybe he ended up taking that spot. Well, I don't know.
Well, I had Kyle. Okay, let me move so I can see the screen.
It didn't save. Hold on. I'm trying to get the right one up here. Oh, I know what I have to do. I did this last time and forgot to save it.
thought you can share screen and then we can see it. You can't share
I am,
screen.
but I got to save it each time. Oh, why is this not working? And for some reason, it's not.
You might have to make another tab. Maximum.
Yeah. File save as.
While we waiting, Regina, I want to give a shout out to your Twitter. You killing it, girl.
No, thank you.
Yeah, you killing it.
Yeah, Gina, you want to go ahead and shout out your stuff? Go ahead and plug it.
Oh, sure. So you all can follow me on Twitter and on Playback under She Talks Football. I don't know if some of you are familiar with Playback, but I actually do as opposed to doing spaces on Twitter now, I do rooms on Playback, playback.tv. And it's a really wonderful app. What's really good about Playback as opposed to spaces is it has a video component. So we can actually play stuff. So for instance, we get in there, we can watch clips, we can watch film. I can pull up, like the Ravens Wired episode, I can pull up and we can all watch the Ravens Wired episode together. So it has the whole video component that Spaces, doesn't have like that. So I love Playback. So you can follow me on Playback, She Talks Football, my community, and also on Twitter. My YouTube page is still out there. I have not restarted my my podcast yet. I do plan to restart probably just before the season or going into the season starting. But you all know I take care of my family, so it's been kind of a tight crunch. So that's why I'm like, it's a blessing that I can jump on and do this with you all.
Right,
because
it's
pretty tight with my schedule. So yeah, but definitely you'll see me tweeting about football and maybe a few other funny things or whatever. And even though I might not start a space, you'll see me maybe in another space. But I'm always down to talk football every day, all day.
We know.
So that's just how it is. It's not getting here fast enough. The season is just not getting here fast enough.
Come on now. NBA is killing me. The NBA is
never here fast enough. All right, well, let's look at what the defense we got here. So we got a defensive end, Tony Sagatsu.
Siragusa.
All right. Defensive tackle, Nagata, and other defensive end, Sam Adams. Outside linebackers, we got Suggs and Bulware. And middle linebackers, we got Ray Lewis and Rokon Smith, which would be a nasty combination.
That's nasty.
The cornerbacks, we got Chris McAllister and Marlon Humphreys. And the safeties, Ed Reed and Rod Woodson.
Woo, them safeties guys. Those are top of the line, number one player at their safety positions.
Man, I want Kyle on there someday. I really do want Kyle on there somewhere. Like, that's so crazy.
Honorable mention or something.
Yeah,
well, he might make it someday. He's still fairly new, right?
Yeah, he's still fairly new. But we can't take Ed Reed or Rod Wilson out. We never will be able to take those guys out.
Yeah, right.
No, yeah.
No, well, here's the fun topic now. Who are we taking at quarterback?
Well, you know that.
It's no question.
Trent Dilfer?
Yeah, not Trent Dilfer.
Joe Flacco.
Not Joe Flacco.
Oh, see, that's where I would say Joe Flacco.
I'm 100% taking Lamar Jackson as the QB.
Yeah, tell me Lamar doesn't have 4 Super Bowls already if he's got this defense.
Well, yeah, who wouldn't have 4 Super Bowls with that defense?
Come on now. I could play quarterback and hand it off to Jamal Lewis and win with those defensive players.
Terry, I could play quarterback with those.
Of course you could. I'm not even exaggerating. Yes, you could. You only got to do is beat 3 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going Lamar Jackson, ladies and gentlemen.
Of course we are. Of course we are.
Well, who do you like at running back? Ray Rice?
Jamal Lewis.
Do we get 2? Do we get 2?
Well, how do they like to do it? 2? Or I got a fullback here, but we can switch it up the lineup.
No fullback.
No fullback?
Yeah, because
we've had really good fullbacks on our team though. So particularly in the offense that we've run, we typically have a fullback. We still got Patrick Ricard now.
Sure.
However, I'd rather go to running backs in this instance.
All right.
Okay.
What y'all think though?
Or go to a double tight because y'all had great tight ends. We need to get who we need to get in there at the tight end spots. So I would say,
but I want you this running back because I need Jamal Lewis and Derrick Henry.
Oh, you gonna put Derrick? You can't put Derrick Henry in there, Eugenia. He only played 1 year.
I don't. Is he not on our team? Is he not black and purple? Are we not paying him money?
But if he retired,
did we not
Regina,
just extend him? Did we not
but
just extend him?
But if he retires, who do you think they're gonna take his jersey to? They're gonna take it to the Titans.
No, I think he might. I think when he goes in the hall, because he's about to get this chip this year with us. Ravens about to get this chip for Super Bowl 60. I think he's going in under both jerseys because he's about to get these chips with us.
How y'all feel about that, Maximus and
you
Alex? How y'all
expect
feel
me
about
to not put Derrick Henry on the list? And I love Ray Rice, of course, right?
Right.
We've had great running backs, right? That's not all of them. But
I was just joking about Ray
like
Rice.
Derrick Henry, who is a first
I'd rather
ballot
see
Hall
Willis
of Famer.
McGahee than Ray Rice.
Right. It would be Willis McGahee. That's who it would be. But no, I'm saying Jamal Lewis and Derrick. You're not going to not put Derrick Henry on any list when it comes to the Ravens now.
But here's what the choice comes down to, because I don't think they had the wide receivers to go with a 3 wide receiver set.
No, I agree.
Pull back in there. So it's either Derrick Henry, Jamal Lewis, or who is it? Who's would be the 2 tight ends?
Well,
because
Todd we're going Mark Andrews.
Yeah,
and
Todd Heap for sure. He's the lead.
And Todd Heap, right? We're going Mark
second
Andrews.
most receiving yards for the Ravens.
So out of all those 4, one of them has to go.
What do you mean?
Because you can, if we're going with 2 running backs, we can only have 1 tight end. But if we go with 2 tight ends, we can only have 1 running back.
Well, Mark Andrews technically has he has surpassed all the other tight ends statistically on our team. So I will go with Mark Andrews.
Big play Slay, Regina?
Huh?
Big play Shay?
Shannon Sharp. But Shannon Sharp was only here, like what you said. Shannon Sharp was only with us like 2 years.
But I'm gonna do what you said with Derrick Henry. I think Shannon Sharp is a Derrick Henry.
Shannon Sharp was great, but statistically, Mark has passed all of the other tight ends on our team. It just happened last season, statistically.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd say he's the greatest tight end on the Ravens for sure. Like, it's not even close. Like, I think the next close.
Nobody will ever put him over Shannon Sharp. I don't think.
Well, but the next Ravens wise,
yes,
Ravens wise after him, it's Todd Heap. So.
Yeah, like, I mean, for that, like, please, y'all. I know what just happened in the playoffs, and I was pissed and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of what we're doing right now, and statistically, I gotta go with Mark.
Right.
I'm a Steelers fan, so I'll let you guys argue about Ravens players.
Well, that brings us to the 2 wide receivers then. We got to have Steve Smith on the list, right?
No.
Why don't I remember you being a Steelers fan, dude? Why don't I remember that?
I don't know.
We should have been arguing. Were we not arguing back then?
No, we did, but it was always respect, and like that's why I wore my Steelers hoodie tonight, because I knew out of respect that you would expect nothing less than for me to wear a Steelers shirt on Ravens night.
That's funny.
So who would you have as wide receivers then, Terry? If you don't got Steve Smith as the 2,
I would have Derek Mason and my other wide receiver, because Baltimore Ravens wide receiver is tough, but I have to go with Anquan Bolden and Derek Mason.
No, that's what I was.
Ravens don't care nothing about wide receivers. They never really have.
No, we do now though. But we do now.
Yep.
We do now. Put some respect on our name now.
Right. I think Zay. We're gonna be putting Zay in this before it's over with. I do believe that.
Well, no, I was contemplating Zay. But yeah, Anquan. You said Anquan and Derek Mason.
Yeah, Derek Mason had a great season.
I hear want to slide Steve in there, but I will go Anquan and Derek Mason.
All right. I'm outnumbered.
Oh, that's right. I had Steve Smith also, but like I said, I'll let you guys.
You're not gonna put Shannon Sharp in.
All right, so we're down to the line. At left tackle, we got Jonathan Agda, and at right guard, we got Yanda. Mm-hmm. So we got left guard, center, and right tackle to come up with.
Well, I would say that Orlando Brown Sr. belongs on that list.
Yeah, he's a name I've got down here.
Yeah, I forgot about Senior.
Ben Grubbs was one that I had on there at guard.
Yeah, see, Marshall played. You got Marshall at right guard, right?
Didn't he left guard?
You got Ogden at left tackle, and then who else did you say?
Nobody yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
So Senior played right tackle, didn't he?
Yep. That's who I've got the right tackle.
Yeah. I'm good with him on right tackle.
All right. So then we need a center and a left guard. Center, I got Burke, right? Matt Burke or Mike Flynn.
I had Burke down for my center.
Burke.
All right.
One of my faves.
And now we just need a left guard, which I've got Edward Multilano. Is it anywhere close in the ballpark, that name, or no?
I didn't have it, so I'm not sure where you're going.
I think you're saying Molitano, maybe?
Yeah, that's it. Him or Ben Grubbs.
I had Grubbs, but that's because I also watched him play with the Saints and remember how dominant he was when he was on the field.
Yeah. I'm okay with Ben Grubbs. Our guard situation has been real. We've been moving around and stuff at our guard situation for a minute now. I'm okay with Grubb. Wait a minute. What was Kelechi Osemele? Was he left guard?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually.
I like Kelechi.
Good callback.
Of course, we had him for like 4 years. We won that Super Bowl he was on that Super Bowl winning 2012 team.
But do you like him over Ogden, or you want him at left guard?
No, I was trying to remember. Kelechi was left guard, right? He wasn't left tackle, right? He was left guard.
Yeah, I think he was a guard. Yeah, so he would fit in there.
All right, how do you spell
and
that?
If I'm remembering correctly, let me verify.
Osemele, I think.
All right.
I want to make sure I'm remembering. I don't want us to leave with incorrect information.
No, I think you're right, because I used to pick him on Madden all the time because at the time he was one of the best guards in the league. Him and Yanda.
Yeah, left guard. Yeah. So
and it's spelled O-S.
I like it's spelled Osemele.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Yeah, Kelechi Osemele.
I couldn't have spelled his first name, but I had the last one.
We should double check.
See, I know other Ravens fans would probably go with Ben Grubbs. That's why I'm thinking about it. They would likely go with Ben Grubbs. I didn't see as much of Ben Grubbs as I did of Osemele.
See, and they were both.
A big fan. I might be biased because I was a big fan.
I mean, he got a ring, right? So that counts for something.
I just got this loading up, and then we can call it up and show the folks what we finished with for the all-times Ravens list.
You know what's crazy is how good that offensive line is, and we didn't even talk about Ronnie Stanley.
Yeah, I know. When I looked at my list, I was like, "Wow, I can't even get Stanley." But
no,
it's just Ogden. Period.
So there's the team we come up with. We got Lamar Jackson at quarterback.
Oh, that's an extra M. Yeah.
Oh,
with
sorry.
Jamal Lewis, and Derrick Henry.
You don't got a
Bolton and Derek Mason and Mark Andrews and that O-line.
Dude, that team is not throwing the ball.
That's 100 points a game.
Yeah, I think this might be better than the team we put together once, Alex.
It might be. That's some road graders on that offensive line.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
like
good
100
team.
Points a game. That's crazy.
But yeah, let's get on. Talk the Ravens' upcoming schedule. What do you think about what they ended up with here, Regina? Like, I think in the weeks 13, 14, 15, they did them nasty here, where they went Bengals on the Thursday night at home, Steelers at home, and then they go on the road to play the Bengals.
Good TV.
Yeah, no, I think what most people consider the nastiest schedule is our first 6 weeks. Because not that that's not, something to look at the end it is. It's like they start off like, bah! We calm down a little bit and we end up with, bah! But yeah, those first 6 weeks, we are playing the Chiefs, the Bills, the Texans, the Lions, the Rams, and the Browns.
Damn.
So
that's
our first 6 weeks. Right. So we're playing, again, those 4 AFC matchups, we have to win those because we want the number 1 seed. And those teams, particularly the Chiefs and the Bills, that's who we're going to be contending with for the number 1 seed. The number 1 seed goes to either the Chiefs, the Bills, or the Ravens, every year, except for in the last 6 years, the Titans had that 1 year. But for the most part, it's the one of our 3 teams. So the fact that we're playing the both of them up front, we need to win both of those because then we will be in the driver's seat for that number 1 seed. Doesn't guarantee we're going to get it, but we'll be in the driver's seat at least starting off. And we need to beat the Texans just because they're in the AFC and we have those implications. All of these teams, right, won their divisions except for the Browns. All 5 of those other teams won their divisions last year. They won their divisions. They were all in the playoffs. So we're playing all playoff teams in the first 6 weeks of the season, minus, the Browns didn't make the playoffs, but they're a division rival. And AFC North division rivals, we play each other tough. Like, that's just what we do. Regardless of records and all that kind of stuff, we play each other tough. So, yeah, that first 6 weeks is really the gauntlet, especially starting right off. But let me tell you why I actually like it. I'm not afraid because I'm never afraid. You will never hear me. I am not afraid of any team in the NFL. No, I'm sorry, I lied. The only team I'm afraid of in the NFL is the Baltimore Ravens. That's it. I'm not afraid of any of the other 31 teams. The Baltimore Ravens can scare the crap out of me if they decide to get out and play and beat themselves. But other than that, we can beat any of the other 31 teams when we play Ravens ball. Let's just get that established. So I'm not afraid of competition at all. The Ravens get up for competition. So starting off the season like this, you have to hit the ground running. There is no working it up. You can't start off rusty. You can't any of that. You have to be ready to go. You have to be ready to go from game 1, which is the Bills in Buffalo on Sunday Night Football.
Well, you better tell your boy Derrick Henry he's got to start quick this year too, because he's one that he waits till it gets cold.
It wasn't his fault.
Cinema. Y'all know that meme with what's his name? That old actor from back in the day. It's a meme out there, and it says cinema. He got his hands up like this. Like literally, it's starting off with cinema. So I know the Ravens get up for their tough teams. You need to get up for everybody because that's how you wind up slipping and losing to loser teams, right? That happens every year. You got to stop doing that. But they get up. This will certainly be the healthiest, right? The beginning of the season is the healthiest your team will ever be for the season. So we're seeing these teams at least at our healthiest of the season. You're going to have to get up, and they get up for big teams, and you have the opportunity to put yourself in the driver's seat. Go and do it, Ravens. We have no excuses this year. We have one of the top rosters in the entire league. Personally, I think they're number 2 behind the Eagles. And some people may make an argument for the Chiefs there. I feel like we're number 2 behind the Eagles.
No.
I agree with you. That Eagles team is one of the best constructed teams I've seen done head down. Like, it is just amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy over there.
And then not good Baltimore right behind them with how it's constructed.
Right.
Lamar needs to find that next level when he gets in the playoffs too.
Right. Like wait a minute. Ho, Merry Christmas.
Uh-oh.
It's not just Lamar.
I'm not saying just him, but he needs to get to that.
It's the entire team. For some reason, we get to the playoffs as a team, and then we don't perform as well as we did in the regular season. I'm talking about from a coaching aspect, and I'm talking about from the execution of the entire team. I'm talking about special teams. I'm talking about defense and offense. So, yes, as the general of the team, Lamar is the general of the team, and we've certainly seen him make some stumbles, some fumbles, and, do some stuff. And for sure we have. But in general, it's our entire team, for some reason, gets to the playoffs and then fails to execute as well as they could have, should have, and all that kind of stuff. So the team as a whole need to move up. Coaching-wise,
But do you not think if they get into that rut again in one of those games, if Lamar comes to the sidelines and starts going, "Come on, guys, let's go," which is out of character for him in a playoff, if he starts throwing in that passion and speech on the playoffs, like, "Let's go, let's we got to like rally up," like Aaron Donald, the year they won the Super Bowl. They're losing to the 49ers on the sideline. He never said anything. But that game when they're losing, he's like, I want nothing more than being in this moment right now with this team to go through them. We want to go to the Super Bowl. We got to beat the best. We got to go out and beat them. And then they went on the field and they came back and won. Like Lamar's got to do something like that to take his game to the next level. And I'm not talking about just on the field, off field stuff, everything. Like he needs to raise that team up when he needs to raise it, and he needs to know when he needs to do that.
Yeah, he has to take accountability, Regina. When they winning, he's getting all the praise. So he has to take that. That's just part of being great. Kobe, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, all these guys, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, you have to take accountability when your team lose. Not saying that Lamar is his fault, but you just have to say that I got to
take the accountability though. I just want to see him with the more passion on the sideline.
No, and that ain't about accountability. I'm just saying, I'm just agreeing with what you're saying. Like he had, no matter what it is, it could be just putting on the right pair of socks that day, right? Whatever it is, you got to overcome to win that Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I do like how he goes about.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I do like how he goes about it working. Like he's all about football. And if he's not doing football stuff, he's sleeping. So he's never going to get in trouble. I would just like to see more of a leadership role in the game time moments.
Okay, so in general, I'm saying in general, I don't disagree with what y'all saying in general. I don't. Yeah. But I feel that in those moments, and did you watch that Bills game? Because that Bills game last season was the first time I really did see him rally in the playoffs. And he was marching the team back to win. Again, everybody has to come up and play and execute. So he definitely showed leadership last season. But what you were describing, the rah-rah, let's get it together, I also want to see that come from the coach. When you see the team going off the rails, because again, we had several fumbles, not just Lamar. We had several drop passes. We had several fumbles. Defense wasn't really getting pressure on Josh Allen. It was all kinds of stuff. I also want to see the coach get in there and say, look, team, we're not leaving here. Exactly what you said that Lamar should say. I also think the coach should be doing that. When you see the team going off the rails or people getting frantic or it seems like the moment is too big right now, all of that, right? Whatever it is, you get in there and you rally the troops. You're the head coach. So you get in there, you rally the troops like, look, we're not leaving here without a win. We got to execute. I need you to dig in. You need to catch those balls. You need to stop dropping the ball. So I want to see that also from them. So I feel like last season, Lamar really rallied, and especially in that second half. He came back blazing. He literally came back blazing. But
we needed the rest of the team.
But we needed the rest of the team to go ahead and execute with him. And unfortunately, we didn't get it from some of the players we targeted. Some of the players did go with him. Rashad Bateman was killing it. Isaiah Likely was killing it. Derrick Henry was killing it. Even our other guys, Anthony Miller and Tylen Wallace, they didn't drop anything that was sent to them. And I'm not going to put the loss all on Mark, but please, my man, you didn't execute. I just need y'all, when he throws you the ball, catch the ball, boo-boo. I just need you to catch the ball when whoever it is, just catch the ball. So in that second half, I just wish we had went to the people. And see, this is where coaching comes in, right? Yep. Mark Andrews had obviously been struggling all that entire game. So why in the world, in a situation like that, would you go back to somebody who had already showed you they didn't have it today?
I agree.
It is okay if you don't have it today. The thing is about the playoffs, it's one and done. So if you don't win, you go home. So then coaching should have said to themselves, Mark doesn't have it today. It's okay, but we need to win this one. Then we can give him another chance in the next game. But if we don't win this one, he doesn't get another chance. So I took issue with not only Mark, but with the fact that they went back to him, and especially in a moment like that moment where he dropped the ball that we needed to tie the game, why did we go to somebody who had demonstrated that they just didn't have it that day? So that's not really, to me, totally his fault. It should have went to the people who had actually demonstrated that they could come through, like Isaiah Likely. He showed that in that game. He made his catches, like Rashad Bateman, like Derrick Henry, like everybody else that did it. Why didn't you go to the people who were obviously on in this game? It's okay if somebody's not on. That happens. And let me just say this. Sometimes the quarterback they may be struggling. They may not be on it. So I need the rest of the team, what you were saying, Sean, I need the rest of the team to gather around and be like, bro, we're not going to let you down. We're going to come through and hold you up till you get it back together. That's why you win as a team. You don't just win by one person. So if the quarterback is struggling for a few minutes, case in point, and I'm going to shut up. How did a quarterback throw, 5 or 6 interceptions in the game and they still won? I.e. the Lions in that game last season. The man threw like 6 interceptions, but the team would not let them lose that game. So despite the fact that Jared Goff was struggling, the team and the coaches would not let them lose that game. That's what I'm talking about. I want to see my team do that. If Lamar is struggling in a moment, okay. Because my man
that's when you need Roquan Smith to step up.
So I need the rest of y'all to like, yo, let's go hold it down. Defense, let's turn the ball over. Pass rush, let's get to this quarterback and disrupt them. Running game, let's just run right through them. Let's do what we need to do until Lamar gets himself back together, and then we can go on to win this game. So it's a team win. It's not all on Lamar, and I'm going to buck back, step up, speak up about anybody that try to put the entire thing on my quarterback, number 8. It ain't going down like that. Not with Miss Gina, not when she talks football. You got to go in the regular season. A quarterback can drag a team through wins in the regular season. You just can. But when it gets to the playoffs, it takes the whole team to win the game. And when we see the Ravens, which I believe we will see, the whole team win the game, and if somebody's struggling, somebody else comes in and takes up, that's how you can go and win a Super Bowl. Period.
All right. Well, do we want to touch base here on the Ravens draft class that they just had?
Yeah, Sean just turned around with his tail between his legs right there.
What's that?
I said Sean just got turned around with his tail between his legs right there.
Well, you can't argue.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying.
So, but yeah, I like the Ravens draft class with how they started here round 1. They got Malachi Starks from Georgia. Pairing him up with Kyle Hamilton, like that is going to be pretty close to the safety combination we just came up with.
Oh,
and then they went Mike Green in the second. He's another guy I really love.
As well. Mike Green, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Green. Y'all don't. We really needed Mike Green, y'all. We really needed him, and for one thing, I didn't expect him to be on the board all the way at the end of the second round, and secondly, I didn't expect us to take him. So when they actually said Mike Green, we lost our minds. We lost it. We lost our minds when they said we absolutely needed that, y'all. That's one of the people who can assist and help us to get over the hump. We needed to have that guy impact that. Our pass rush as a whole, they do pretty well as a whole. We have stats, right? We got the stats and all that kind of stuff, but you need that player that's going to get there and make that play when you need it done. So, yes, we are super happy. Mike Green and Malachi Starks.
That's who I want the 49ers to take Mike Green. That's who I wanted them to take, him or Jahari Barron. Instead, they take that Williams kid from Georgia. But, yeah, I love Mike Green. He's great. He's going to be an awesome addition to have just as a solid piece where you can have those other guys, instead of being rotational pieces, could now come in for breather pieces, right? And they can, like, go more at it while they're on the field. So it's just going to elevate everybody. They hit the O-line pretty good, too. They went and they got the third round. They got Emory Jones from LSU. In the fifth, they got Carson Benson from Alabama. So they got some big name schools there. They also got guard from LSU late in the 7th.
Dellinger,
Dellinger. And they hit the cornerback position pretty good too. In the 6th with Bethel Cone from West Michigan and Robert Longbeam from Rutgers.
Yeah,
and then
Bilal Cone and Longerbeam.
And then their pick in the 6th round, where you knew that we haven't even touched the base on that yet. But what's his name? Justin Tucker. You knew he was getting the boot here with the Tyler Loop pick. Like, and did you see what those videos of him kicking 80-yard field goals in practice?
Yeah, I've seen some stuff.
Yeah,
he's got
a cannon on that leg.
Oh yeah, that's why when they drafted him, I'm like, well, there goes Justin Tucker with everything that he's been doing here with his Watson case of the Watsons. He's going to be gone, and then sure enough, he was gone. And then they got a linebacker in Teddy Buchanan from Cal and a wide receiver, LaJonte Webster from Colorado.
Yeah, I like him from Colorado. He's good. Yeah. He's having a good camp.
Anybody other than Mike Green you really like there?
Everybody. I actually loved our entire draft. No, honestly, so going in, right, we had 11 picks. And prior to the draft, a number of us were talking, on Twitter and was like, yo, we don't need to get 11 people. Just package up some of those picks and let's move up. We had all those ideas. But then after he drafted the people, we were like, man, we needed all 11. Like, we legitimately needed all 11 of those picks. Like, okay, I guess EDC is the GM for a reason, Eric DaCosta. Because I'm like, we legitimately needed all 11 of those. And the last time this dude drafted 11 people, we still have 8 of those guys are starters on our team right now. It was about 3 years ago we had 11. The man knows what to do with picks. So I'm just going to give it to him. We needed all those people because we did let a number of, especially defensive. You see it was majority defense. We did a number of defensive changes. We didn't bring a number of players back. They got re-signed to other teams or we cut. So we really needed the depth. We needed it at cornerback. We needed it at linebacker. We needed it at D lineman. So, yeah, no, we legitimately love all of those picks, man. There's only one pick that you will hear some Ravens fans, be upset about. I'm not. I feel like we got who we needed to get. But at the time that we picked Teddy Buchanan in the 4th round, Jalen Royals was still on the board, and so a lot of us thought we were going to get Jalen Royals right there. So when we did not, and we picked Teddy Buchanan, like people was like, oh my gosh, well maybe we'll get him on our 2nd, 4th. But obviously the Chiefs went behind us and drafted Jalen Royals. So for some people, that left a bad taste in their mouth. But to be honest, we desperately needed another linebacker. We did. So I'm okay with it. I feel like we got who we needed. And we're going to be okay. We were good. This was the first year where we weren't desperate for wide receivers, y'all. Like typically every draft, we just badly need wide receivers. This was the first year since EDC that we weren't desperate for wide receivers. So he had to go, believe you me, he'll be back to wide receivers next draft. And he said it. He said it laughing, but we all know it's true. He'll be back to drafting wide receivers next season. But we legitimately needed all 11 of these picks. I hope all of these guys, I don't make the 53 right, but the other ones, hopefully we can stash. I'm already concerned about who might get picked off because people do come and pick off from our practice squad big time every year. So I'm like, somebody needs to cut finger. I need you to like lose some hair or something so we can stash you. They just got to figure it out. The Ravens are good at doing that. So they just got to find a way to stash. And even undrafted, we got some really good undrafted guys that we picked up. So I'm going to be like this, trying to see, because everybody can't make the 53. They just can't. So it was a really good draft, Sean. No, it just really was.
Oh, yeah. They always draft well. I could pretty much pick who they're going to draft while it's coming up on the clock because it's like clockwork what they do, right? Like I said, they're going to pick Rashad Bateman as soon as they have that 2nd one. And they're going defensive end of somebody, their top guy, and Bateman's going to be the 2nd guy. Sure enough, they did that, right? Like, what do you feel about that signing? He just got his big payday.
Oh, yeah, love it, love it, love it, love it. I have always been a Rashad Bateman truther. So regardless of what, I was just like, if this dude stays healthy and can stay on the field and Lamar targets him, we're going to see I knew what he was from what I was able to see before he would get injured. So it was just a matter of time. I was like, this dude can stay healthy and Lamar target him. And look at here, cinema. Look what he did last season. I mean, the Cowboys went after him, and allegedly some other teams tried to trade for him. So yeah, I stayed with him, stuck with him, never abandoned him, never called him trash. Never. I was just like, it's just health, and because he was always open, and we talked about it even the season before last. Man gets open. He's an excellent route runner. And it's like, man, he needs to move up in terms of the targets. He needs to move up. You know, I think it was like Mark Andrews is usually first, then Zayd and whatever. We need Rashad to be like first or second look, bruh. Because bruh gets open right off the line. He gets open. So yeah, I'm super excited. I was happy for him, and I knew he was happy. It was good for him. It was good for us.
Well, I wouldn't say big payday, Sean. One thing about the Ravens, and Gina, correct me because I know you are expert of the Ravens. The Ravens are really good about paying players before they actually get good because we ain't gonna pay you a bunch of money. So Rashad Bateman could have commanded on the market $20 more million, but the Ravens are like, we don't care about your stats. Here's $30 million. And yeah, he's taking a deal because he hasn't put up $30 million worth of stats, but the Ravens know how good he is. He's with Lamar. And I thought it was a great deal for both sides. Because nobody
it was a very good deal.
Rashad hasn't performed at that level to get a deal, but they know he's a good player and he's still getting better.
So I'd even top that out and say the Ravens know what they're getting, that they can do that because they search out guys who are so loyal that they'd be willing to do that to begin with.
That's what I'm talking about, Sean.
Rashad Bateman, when he played for Minnesota, he was offered to go to Alabama and all this other money, all these other schools.
Right.
And he's like, no, I'm staying with it. These are Minnesota's the only team that offered me a scholarship. They're the ones who only believed in me. I'm staying here my whole career. Like I'm paying back to them so that you know what type of guy he is. So when contract comes up, the Ravens know they don't have to go high.
There you go.
It works out, right? Like, so it just comes out. It's back to your GM playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers.
Come on. Except for Lamar.
That's why I was confident.
They tried to lowball Lamar like that. Gina, they tried to do Lamar like that. I didn't like that, Gina. Because you don't do your quarterback like that. They tried to do Lamar, want him to sign for $80 million. What the hell? Come on, Baltimore. And gonna put him on the market. Gina, I want to hear what you got to say about that before we get out of here. Why
it's water under the dam, bro. We got my man locked up. What we doing?
No, she's just trying to spread love over here.
All we trying to do is win this Super Bowl this year, bro.
I'm
not even trying to go. That was look good. That was a traumatic time for me. It was traumatic, bro. I ain't trying to go back to that. We where we are now. We are where we are. My man is locked up. He's happy. He's trying to get this chip. That's what we're doing, man. I can't go back to that pain. I can't go back to that pain. That was a rough 2 or 3. No, seriously. That was a rough 2 or 3 years. As a hardcore Ravens fan like me, I was devastated every day. And that's all we had to hear. It was all on the media. It's all they talked about, you know, on the sports shows. It's all on the radio shows. And if I went into Twitter spaces, that's all people, why y'all ain't pay Lamar? We were asking ourselves, like, it was a traumatic time, bro.
Okay.
We where we are. Now we're talking about the 2-time MVP who really should have 3. Let's be honest. He should have 3. But we're talking about the 2-time MVP who trying to go get this chip this year, bro.
Facts.
Yeah,
they got to go through black and yellow.
Yeah. Are y'all even going to be in the playoffs, my dude?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, we are. Well, Coach T, you can't doubt him. What do you say, Sean?
I said, is there any comments you want to get to good before we end stuff?
Yeah, we get to a couple of them. Let me get to the members first. CHB in the building. What's up, CHB? He says, Fantasy Good Sports Chat. Acknowledge me. Let me tell you a little bit about CHB. This dude is a huge wrestling fan. And in our leagues, he's always doing what wrestlers do, always peacocking around. This guy's crazy. No, he's good. Appreciate you, bro. Been supporting the channel for a while. Appreciate you being here, man. We got Doomsday in the building. What up, bro? This guy played professional baseball, if y'all guys don't know that. He played professional baseball for the Padres for about 6 or 7 years. Yes, sir. What's going on? Then we got one of our hosts. He's not here today, but he's in the chat supporting. Appreciate you. We got Terrence in the building. He said, let's get it, fellas.
Hell yeah.
And guys, this is God, what I'm about to say. And I'm not trying to get
into that, Terrence. We'll get into that.
I'm not trying to get all esoteric. Guys, don't y'all know that we all met on Clubhouse?
Yep.
Me, Terrence, Regina, Alex, and Maximus all met on Clubhouse. Now, I don't know who knew who. I didn't know none of them. But we all
I didn't know any.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, y'all used to come into my Clubhouse room. I was always looking for people to talk about football because it was a bunch of fantasy football spaces, but I just wanted to talk NFL. Right. So I used to make the spaces, and you guys slowly but surely started coming in. Man, that was a great time.
Right. What did he say? He said Dobbins isn't going to start over. We'll get on that later, bro. We ain't gonna debate that right now. That's gonna be an interesting conversation. Yeah, I think Harvey's gonna eventually get the role, maybe week 6 or 7. That's my point. Finishing up, he says, but I think it's good for him to be there. You just want to get whatever you need to, some like running backs, man. You can hire a bunch of them, whatever they need. Maybe they need a pass catching running back. Maybe Harvey's not built to protect Bo Nix right now. Maybe he don't know he don't know the pass scale. Well, what you call it? The
pass protection. Yeah.
What'd you say?
That was one of the pass pro. That was actually one of the things that Sean and I had as a flag for him coming out.
Right. That's why I think, and maybe he can learn from
another opportunity though. I'm happy for him for that.
Yeah,
JK to come off that injury, right? Them injuries. I'm proud of him, man. I'm so good. I'm so happy for technology where these guys are not losing their career.
He was my guy that year. Him. Like that was my RB1 that class was Dobbins.
He was.
Swift, Akers, Jonathan Taylor, CEH. Like it was a dominant class of running backs.
It was.
And then this year we have another one. Like that was the last dominant running back class was the Dobbins one.
Right. Conscious Machines are checking in. Hope you all are well. Yes, we doing good, bro. He says, have we ranked Rodgers yet? Laugh out loud. I say he might be extremely, but not better than 15 overall, 4-point touchdown.
Wait, you said 15 touchdowns?
No, 15 overall.
15. Okay.
QB2. Yeah, he's a QB2.
Yeah, and that's all the Steelers need right now because their quarterback play has been atrocious since Ben.
Right.
So is their defensive play.
Conscious Machine says, just think the Ravens are actually the original Browns. The current Browns are an expansion team. And he's right.
Yep. That's why I was going to say that. Do we count Ozzie Newsome as part of them? That's why I was thinking 2 tight ends, Ozzie Newsome and Mark Andrews. But you guys threw out Todd Heap on me.
Right. And
so
this is where I'm
counting the Browns guys, but you can. But yeah, that's actually, it's crazy to think, right? The year they left was the year they won the Super Bowl too.
Right.
No, you're talking about the Browns?
Yes, before y'all got the Ravens.
No, the Ravens. No. That team started in 1996. By the time we won the Super Bowl in 2000, there was only 5 original Browns players on that team. They had turned that whole team around.
I'm thinking of a different team then.
Yeah. No, we won in 2000.
Thinking of Colorado when the Nordiques moved.
That could be.
But that's hockey.
I agree with here. He said Sharp has done more than Henry. Not better as well. They play 2 different positions, but Sharp to me will always be a Raven. I know he's a Denver Bronco, but to me he's a Raven because I think he was y'all number 1. Even though he didn't have more targets than Jermaine Lewis, I thought he was the number 1 wide receiver threat on that team, and that helped them get to the Super Bowl. You remember that when he caught that out route and took it 80 yards up the sideline? Though he made a lot of big plays for the Ravens, so I will always remember him as a Raven.
Yeah, he identifies as Bronco though.
Does he?
Yes. If you ask him about it, I specifically saw he identifies as a Bronco first. He's not disregarding the Ravens part, but he identifies as Bronco first.
Okay. Fantasy Network says Gina up here preaching. That's the passion coming out strong. Yes. I'm telling you, bro. Hey, me and Gina used to have a lot of debates, and she never backed down. And I told them when we was having you up, I'm like, listen, Gina ain't gonna back down now. You're not gonna try to talk her off or nothing. I love it. That's what Fantasy Good Sports is about. The good hour.
Yep.
Arthur Naya said tonight live is fire. Yes, Gina, we appreciate you coming up. Hopefully, we'll have you again.
I definitely love to come back for sure. It don't have to be about Ravens. I am an NFL football fan, so
yes, you are.
I like to talk football. Period. So yeah.
Maybe we do like a preseason episode or something.
Right. Or we can do something through the season related to fantasy. It doesn't matter. However we know.
Let me see. We don't play the 49ers. We play the Steelers.
Wait
a minute. Good. Who's your team? I forgot.
I'm a Cowboy.
See, I don't be hating on the Dallas Cowboys like a lot of people. I'm not a Dak hater. I'm not a Cowboys hater. I'm not. I really am not. Y'all think
No, did you hear her voice though? She went, oh, because she feels bad. That's what happened.
Right. Thank you, Gina. But this is what I would tell y'all. Y'all can say whatever. Maximus, you can talk junk. You, Alex, can talk junk.
Even you,
Gina.
back this season.
But this is what I'm gonna tell both of you. Who makes the most money in the NFL?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Come on now.
They do.
They know how to market.
No, I think the Cowboys are going to be back this season, y'all. I think Jerry actually went out and did some stuff this offseason. Finally. So I think the Cowboys will be back to at least like their 12-5. Because, typically y'all like 12-5 when the season. I think the Cowboys, they made some good moves. They might not have been flashy moves.
Come on now.
But if you look at the move, because he's going to fix the O-line, I knew that your number one pick was going to be an offensive lineman. That's what Jerry does. And you needed it. And you needed offensive lineman. I'm like, was anybody surprised? We knew he was going to pick an offensive lineman.
Right.
Only thing I'm not that excited about for you still is your running back room. I don't feel like your running back room is. I feel like it could be better. I'll say that. I feel like the running back room could still be better.
I think,
of course, but they got some guys.
Yeah, I think he got burned by Zeke. He don't want to overpay and overdraft running backs anymore.
Yeah. But no, I think the Cowboys are back. The boys are back in town.
Come on now. Ronaldo says she's the best. Yes, sir, Ronaldo. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Ronaldo.
Guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content. And I'm saying we got one more, guys, before we get out of here. We got Garrett in the building. He says, I think RJ Harvey is week 1 starter, but I don't know. I think he could be right. Sean, we thought Alvin Kamara beat out Adrian Peterson, and he traded Adrian Peterson after he gave Adrian Peterson $20 million up.
Sure did.
Alvin Kamara was what, a third-round pick?
Yep, third round.
Yep. All right, I'm good, Max. You can go ahead.
That's it. All right. Well, thank you, Regina, for joining the show. It was great to have you. Great talking football to you again since Clubhouse days. It's been a long time. Let's not leave it so long next time. So thanks for coming to the show.
For sure.
Just remind everyone where they can find you again. I'm sure you're going to be a hit. So
you all can follow me, and thank you I appreciate it. Thank you, fellas, for having me here. Really so much fun. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your patience. She Talks Football. That's where I am everywhere. So Twitter, Playback. Make sure you go join my community on Playback. We've actually been watching the NBA Finals right now, but we've been doing. I should tell you guys. So every year, this is the 3rd year, we do AFC North positional group rankings. So we go through and we rank all the position groups in the entire division, who's first, second, third, or fourth. So we actually just started. The first one was last week. That's over on playback.tv. The first one we did wide receivers. And we do the whole room, not just a player, but the entire room. This week coming in on Tuesday, we're doing inside linebackers and defensive tackles. But we actually go through every single position group and we rank it rank it for the division. So that'll be a fun thing. You guys can come and check out and join. And you can come and participate. You don't have to be in the AFC North Division to participate because it's consensus ranking. So we take everybody's votes and then we take, the majority of the consensus in order to come up with who gets 1, who gets 2, 3, and 4. So everybody votes. You don't even have to come up and talk. You can just vote, put your list in the audience. So definitely come check us out on playback.tv and join this. It's She Talks Football, exactly as you see here, the community, and then you'll get the notification when the rooms open up. So yeah, Twitter, Playback. I'm on TikTok, but I really don't do anything. I really don't be on the clock. And IG, She Talks Football on IG. I mostly stay on Twitter and Playback. That's where you're going to see me most of the time. And guys, y'all know I'm so passionate. I just am. I can't help myself. That's nothing has changed. I'm still the same way, and I'm gonna go to bat for my purple and black.
All right.
Yep. Real quick.
Yeah, thanks for joining,
Siobhan. I appreciate you being here. Always support the channel. What's going on with you, girl?
All right. You want to take us away?
Yeah, so guys, I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Guys, we got listener leagues starting up. Maximus is in some leagues. I got Alex in some leagues. Hopefully, if Gina want to get in the league, she's welcome to get in the league. But guys, make sure you sign up as a member of the channel. You help support the channel. And also, guys, you get perks. You get I upload videos and you get the video first before I upload it to the public. So make sure you sign up and support the channel, guys. I appreciate everybody being here. This is going to be a big year. This is one of the best channels in fantasy football because we keep it real here. It's unfiltered. So appreciate everybody.
Have a good night.